Hello and welcome to 16 Ounce Cinema presents Movie Bozos. I'm TJ here with Bjork.
Hello.
And we're continuing our Rin Tin Tin filmography with the movie mentioned by Anne Frank in her diary, The Lighthouse by the Sea.
How did you know that? Did you read her diary?
It's on the Wikipedia. It says, For her 13th birthday, Anne Frank watched this film from a rented reel with an early projection machine, along with her friends who thoroughly enjoyed it. Anne was a big fan of Rin Tin Tin and mentioned this film in her diary.
Wow, poor Anne Frank.
Yeah, but at least,
I guess watching
Rin Tin Tin
this
brought her
isn't,
a little bit of brightness.
I guess watching this isn't quite as bad as getting killed by Nazis, but it's not far off.
Right. This one was written by Daryl Zanuck, and he actually kind of got his start. Well, not his start, but like the writing these Rin Tin Tin movies gave him a big push to end up becoming the power player that he was in Hollywood. Because these were making tons of money. So he did, what do we say? We got Find Your Man he did for Rin Tin Tin. He did this one, and maybe that's it. But Tracked by Police. So I guess we may or may not see more of the ones written by him. I don't know if they exist. So pull up our little...
You've really gone all out with the research.
Cheat sheet. Well, it's in the Rin Tin Tin book that I thought we were both reading.
You told me not to bother.
I did?
Yeah, you said it's really crap.
Well, it's not a great book. It's like a BuzzFeed article, but I figured we both could read all of it. You're better at remembering all that stuff that you read.
Oh, true. But I ended up watching something last night instead, but I guess for future Rin Tin Tin podcasts, I'll read more.
Well, what I said also is that it doesn't go into depth in all of the movies. It's more like a 1900 to 2008 history of the Rin Tin Tin legacy.
And its fascinating owner.
This specific dog.
Yeah.
It's an interest. There's a lot of weird stories in there. It's kind of worth it. I don't know how we would relate a lot of the later stories, though.
I'm not too sure.
Anyway, Lighthouse by the Sea, which we watched from archive.org, and...
Stunning quality.
What was it? What was it? I want to look it back up and see the exact words.
I think it was the 4K restoration we watched.
Yeah, or as you put it, the 10p resolution.
Yeah, I think this might actually be the lowest quality film I've ever seen.
And, okay, here is what the uploader, named Rather Not Say, has to say. Please no complaints, as this print is in excellent condition, and do not be complaining about the content either, as this is a great film.
I've got a theory about this. I think the guy that loaded it is the blind guy who owns the Lighthouse.
Well, I hope you're ready for a few more, because... I think we have 2 or 3 more of these movies. The only way we could find them is uploaded by this same guy who basically says, the movie's not shit, neither is the rip. This is the best of cinema and the best of quality. Straight from the Library of Congress to your computer screen.
I hope they're better quality than the other ones.
So, it starts out with a lighthouse, and you have a blind lighthouse keeper and his daughter.
Yep.
And the lighthouse inspectors show up, and they're basically checking in, I guess, to make sure he's not blind. So he has to pretend that he has sight, which you can't do!
Yeah, this guy's an asshole. He's endangering everyone's life because he's too proud to admit he's blind.
Well, his daughter's, doing all the work, and he just doesn't want to lose his pension or something? What is going on here?
Yeah, why do they even need a lighthouse assistant if his daughter does all the work? I don't understand.
I guess he just has no plan outside of the lighthouse. He's squandered his savings on, I don't know, buying his own light bulbs for the damn thing? Yeah. I don't know.
All he does is maintain the lighthouse and upload Rin Tin Tin films on archive.org. That's his life.
Yeah. Right. It's not like he owns the lighthouse. Yeah, he's got to have a place to go. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah,
he just wants to
he
live there.
He has the cottage, doesn't he? He has a cottage next door to the lighthouse.
Right, but that would have to be like provided by the government
Oh
for
yeah,
the lighthouse
true.
keeper to stay in because they
True.
stay there for a long time.
Yeah.
Except, right, I mean, this lighthouse is like a brisk walk away from the town. It seems like you could just do this in shifts.
Yeah. It's just
It's not.
bizarre. Like, how would the lighthouse guy even meet a woman to have a daughter in the first place if he's there all the time?
She seems like a
anyway?
granddaughter too. This guy is so old.
Oh yeah.
So already the setup is just broken. Like, first of all, why does he have to stay there? Why is he so desperate to stay that he's being dangerous?
I just don't think he's got
secondly,
anything to live for.
Why does the lighthouse keeper have to live there anyway when you could just have a couple guys in shifts do it because you're like a 15-minute walk from the town? It's not like it's one of those lighthouses that is like way out of the way, like in the movie The Lighthouse,
Just
where no one can get there.
I want to see the lighthouse,
Right.
like the new one, but with Rin Tin Tin and the old man instead of Willem Dafoe and Robert
Or
Pattinson.
just like Rin Tin Tin and Strongheart.
Yeah,
You know, just a version of the lighthouse that stars Rin Tin Tin and Strongheart.
just getting wasted.
And Rin Tin Tin in the Robert Pattinson role and Strongheart as Willem Dafoe.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's all subtitled. It like barks and woofs and growls. Strongheart's the old seafaring dog. And Rin Tin Tin fantasizes about mermaids. This is perfect.
It is. That is fantastic. We need to phone A24 up.
This is way better than the movie that we have. So, yeah, he pretends to have sight in front of the inspectors, and like he makes eye contact with them though.
Yeah.
But like you can't fake that when you're blind. Like, how would you know where do your eyeballs go?
I'm not sure how blind he actually is. I don't think he's like completely blind, but I think he's close.
I mean, they make him out to be a complete Mr. Magoo. Later in the movie, he just wanders out of the lighthouse and almost falls off a cliff, and Rin Tin Tin has to grab him.
I was laughing my ass off at that scene.
I didn't understand too. I felt like I went to jot down a note, and when I looked up, suddenly this old man is about to die for no reason. He just like he went outside to pee or something, and then now he's just like, oh, I can't find my way back. And Rin Tin Tin's like, old man.
I really didn't want Rinty to save him. I just wanted to let him go. That old man's nothing but trouble the entire film.
Yeah, right. Rin Tin Tin should have recognized that.
Yeah,
But I guess
instead
he's
of
just
pushing
too
people off
pure.
cliffs this time, he's pulling people up from them.
So now it's up to the blind man to catch these rum runners. They basically just say, as long as you got that lighthouse beaming, we're going to catch the rum runners. Like, okay.
Like, the rum runners go to so much trouble to occupy this lighthouse. Like, one guy could have just stormed in and broken the bowl, but they go to so much effort, and it don't make any sense why.
Right.
It's like, it's pointless.
So Rin Tin Tin enters the scene after a shipwreck.
Oh yeah,
and
and that random guy.
He's with this guy. What's this guy's name? Bob or something like that?
I just kept calling him Rinty's
No, his name is Bob.
friend. Oh, okay.
His name is actually Bob. Rin Tin Tin looks a little seasick in this rowboat as he gets to shore. He doesn't look too sure. Like, he can swim and everything, but he doesn't look happy in the little rowboat.
I don't know why Bob made Rin Tin Tin swim to the shore. Because he arrived at the shore at the exact same time
then
he
gets
did.
back there. Yes! He's just like, this is too much weight for me to row. Get out. You swim.
And when Flora finds them on the beach, he doesn't try and give them water or food or anything. He just hugs them. I hate this film.
I did like that one of the intertitles, I think, because I couldn't quite make it out, I think had a picture of Rin Tin Tin, like, smiling with his tongue way out.
I remember that one.
It did, all right?
Yeah,
Did it? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I really wasn't sure because the quality is legitimately that bad.
Yeah, dog shit quality for a dog shit film.
And this could have been like the Rin Tin Tin versus Strongheart, which would have been like the Godzilla versus Kong of the 1920s.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But instead they get this adorable bulldog named Yukon Killing. Because the bad guy rum runners apparently can't get past a dog to take out the lighthouse.
Yeah.
So they have to get their cuddly bulldog to go fight Rin Tin Tin.
Apparently this dog lives on a diet of manhole covers, and the bad guy actually believes this story.
Yeah, their plan is so dumb too. It's like we're gonna make the dogs fight, or I'm gonna aggressively romance the housekeeper's daughter.
Yeah, what the fuck was that guy's problem? She's not interested. Then he borderline attempts to rape her in the bar, and everyone just watches.
Well, why did she even go to the bar? I didn't understand that either.
Think
like she just basically shows up at this
assistant.
Oh, is that what it was? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I think the dad said go to town or something like that to find a lighthouse assistant, but she just goes to the bar and doesn't say anything. She walks around and looks at people.
How about you tell the inspectors, like, hey, I'm blind. Can I just go collect my retirement now? And they'd be like, yeah, that's a great idea, old man. Why won't... That's not explained why he can't just give it up.
And even at the end of the film, when they let him go because they find out he's blind, he don't give a shit. He's not bothered. He's happy. Yeah. Like, what's this man's deal? And
I don't know, man. Just sometimes old men are just weird. Maybe that's what it is.
Probably. And what's the bad guy's name? Because in my notes, I just keep calling him Mr. Rape.
The rapey one that really wants Flora is Dagger. His big plan is like, I'm gonna have sex with Flora and then we're gonna win the day.
Yeah,
and the one
much.
Like pulling all the strings is Rich. Or no, maybe he's not actually Rich. I just named him Rich because he was rich.
Well, it's better than Mr. Rape, I guess.
Yeah, who has this wonderful line to Flora? I can't forget our romantic meeting. Referencing when she came to the bar looking for help and he attempted to rape her.
Oh my god, I missed that line.
Alright, so now, our introduction to Yukon Killer, we get a fist on the intertitle when we learn his name. That was pretty cool. I wish we could have seen more of these intertitles, but the quality prohibited that.
Yeah. And do you think they were actually fighting the two dogs?
Well, according to that book, they usually did, but they wore muzzles.
Alright, yeah, I couldn't tell. It kind of like they were playing with each other, but then Rin Tin Tin had that 1,000-yard stare and it got serious.
Yeah. It started out kind of like, oh, they're not really fighting, and then it was Rin Tin Tin was on top of this dog at his neck, and that was like, oh, alright, well, it looks like old Yukon Killer there just went a step too far. Probably said something about his mother.
Probably.
Nothing but a French whore!
Your mother's a bitch, Rinty. No. And
I wonder if Rinty had a French accent or if it was American because he came over when he was a baby.
I think it's probably
an American
accent.
Yeah, I don't think he had the French accent.
Rinty's a little bitch in this film. He kind of ruins the film.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's terrible.
He's barely in it though.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why it's awful. Like after that fight with Yukon Killer, where he looks like he's gonna tear his throat out. He follows him, he chases him to a nearby fence, and he can't follow him through the hole.
And then they have this Little Rascals moment.
Yeah, Yukon Killer pokes his head back through them, and he's like, "Arf," and he doesn't.
Yeah.
He don't follow him through, and. If this was the Rinty from the last film, Rinty would have scaled that wall and tore his throat out.
Right, I was waiting for him to jump the wall and kill this dog.
Yeah, that's like his signature move, but he just ditches him. He don't care.
Yeah.
It's like the old man.
He just had this cute, he's like, Ruff, and he's like, Rrr, and he's like, and that's it.
Yeah.
I guess he's more like German Shepherd than crazy half feral wolf dog in this, so it makes sense.
Yeah, maybe he showed sympathy because the dog was domesticated. Maybe he just doesn't like humans and wild animals.
Oh, he understands that dog was only fighting because he was forced to, not because he's a savage animal.
Yeah, this film forces you to read between the lines.
Rin Tin Tin was like, dude, you're nothing but an adorable bulldog. He probably stole you from some granny who feeds you too much to come fight me. I get it. Just go on now. I didn't really take any notes after that because nothing really happened.
Wasn't that only halfway through the film?
Yeah, I wrote, Mr. Magoo off the cliff. Oh, and then I put Rin Tin Tin rightly sick of their shit.
Well, after that, that guy gets... I think this is before, actually. Bob was his name. I think he gets hired as the lighthouse
Yeah.
assistant. That he willingly
Yeah.
does. He doesn't want to go back to his ship or get in contact with his family or anything. Guess I'm a lighthouse assistant now.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I'm just a weird drifter. Like, this guy could be a serial killer for all the interest he has in getting home.
Yeah, he's just really poorly written characters.
Or maybe that was just common back then, just weird drifting.
Oh, I guess.
Just washing up on
You washed
shore,
up on our
having
beach.
nowhere to
You're
go.
ours now. Get to work in the lighthouse.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, well, I got nowhere else to go.
After the fence fight, Flora, who's the lighthouse keeper's daughter, she lets one of the bad guys inside the cottage, and her blind father almost ends up falling down those lighthouse stairs. This is that scene we were on about earlier.
Right, which is just, yeah, which is insane too. Like, that's a lot of steps to be taken blind.
Yeah, and like he's been there his entire life by the looks of it. So you think he'd know the rough layout of where stuff is. Nope, straight down the stairs, and he like somehow manages to push his walking stick off of the cliffside. Then he almost walks off like a zombie. But Rinty saves
Maybe
him.
he's a ghost and he doesn't want to leave
my
because
God,
his
the
spirit is
lighthouse
tied to the
ghost.
lighthouse.
His
Yeah.
soul's trapped inside the light bulb.
Oh my god.
That's why he didn't want those people like smashing the bulb, because it would release his soul and he'd be forever trapped.
Right, or even trying to change it. Like a new lighthouse guy comes in and is like, oh, the water's just getting a little weak on this thing, or whatever they do. I guess
Don't
it's more of
touch
an
that
oil lamp than a
bulb.
light bulb, right? Because it's old-timey? I don't know.
Oh, we get that cute scene where Rinty goes back to the hole where he pulled the stake out where he was tied up, and it's like him and Bob just randomly start hugging and laughing at each other as if it's really funny.
Oh, where they tie him up and he
Yeah,
like
but he
undigs
breaks
it.
loose, then tries to tie himself back up.
I thought he just like broke loose and like walked around with it to show Bob like, what are you doing, man? You don't tie up Ren 1010. And he's just like, oh, you're right. And then he's like, okay.
Oh, I thought he
like
tried putting it back in and like tying himself back up. It was like, I didn't go anywhere,
that-
Bob.
yeah,
what are you
that's-
on about?
that might be what actually happened. I thought he was annoyed at being tied up, but I guess he's such a ultra good dog.
Yeah, he's a very
That's what they
good boy in this film. Doesn't kill a single person.
He's almost too squeaky clean. I like him with his bad boy attitude
Yeah,
like he had last
I like
time.
the leather jacket wearing biker riding Rin Tin Tin, not this little rascal
Right.
Rin Tin Tin. That's what ruined the film
yeah,
for me.
little. Yeah.
And you get that bad guy, Mr. Rafe, or Rich, whatever he's called. He knocks on
Daggert.
the light. Dagger? Did he say-
Daggert.
Daggert. Oh, his name's Daggert, right. Well, Daggert
Yeah.
knocks on the lighthouse door and he says to Bob that Flora's been kidnapped, which he actually believes. Like, I guess Flora didn't tell him that this guy tried to rape her at a bar or anything, so he goes outside.
Right.
Then they capture
And what
him.
exactly is Flora doing at this time? Like, she didn't say, oh, I'm going to go, like... How long has she been gone that he believes it? This guy's senile, too. Like, she's just like, oh, I'm going to go to the shop and, I'm going to go buy some milk. And like, 5 minutes later, she's been kidnapped! And he's like, oh my god, she has been gone a while!
Then he just runs out and then he instantly gets captured. And so does Rin Tin Tin. He like Rin Tin Tin has a go at a guy's leg, but then they just pick him up and he can't do anything. He's helpless.
Oh, yeah, and they put that poor dog in a net.
Yeah, and then he just like stuck in the net for a while, but he manages to break out. And I think this is when that guy manages to light the lighthouse on fire with his shoe. He like strikes a match by stomping on it, and it lights the whole thing on fire.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
and-
man, they don't make matches like they used to. You just...
And you get that
Kick
great
'em.
scene when the lighthouse keeper invites the bad guys in, thinking that they're the inspectors, and he goes upstairs, but halfway up the lighthouse stairs, he just falls down, and they roll him off.
That man should have been dead. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, I thought
Grandpa's dead now.
height, the drop from that height would have killed him. That's onto like solid concrete on the floor.
Right, at his age, man?
But
he
then-
dropped to like 40 feet.
Yeah, but then
Like,
he
what did he
just-
land on the couch?
Probably landed on Rin Tin Tin. But like, no explanation later. He just randomly gets up and he's like, "I'll untie you from these chains." Somehow we know he's chained up, and somehow he knows where the key goes despite being blind. Makes no sense.
I mean, he's been there since the day he was born, so he has a little bit of the geography of the place in his mind. But
Yeah, I guess he does for the inside, just not the outside. I guess those stairs were new that he fell down.
Where the area, yeah.
How long
Once he's
has
on the
this
ground
cliff been
floor, he's
here?
good. He can basically only hang out in the living room. That's the only place he has mapped out.
Pretty much. And I don't know how, but we end up on a boat. I think it's the rum smuggling boat somehow. The main cast ends up
They
there.
capture them, and then they decide, like, instead of, maybe just stashing them someplace out of the way, they take them to the center of their operations on this rum running boat, which is an enormous boat, by the way. Like, were they just gonna smuggle it in on different rowboats, or was this the boat?
And I don't know
how
why
much
they
rum are
even
they moving?
bothered with the lighthouse, because that old man, the guy, the woman, they don't ever look out at sea when the light's on. Like that boat could have gone right through even if the lighthouse was on and no one would have seen it.
We also have no presence really on the water until the very end. I guess I guess because the lighthouse was out, but we don't really see these cops very much.
Hey, that random Navy ship showed up and got involved.
Right, we're talking enormous boats I thought. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know
seems
what
like
that massive
for this
boat
kind of
was doing
operation,
there.
you'd need smaller, faster boats for both sides.
Yeah, but instead they get a massive Navy vessel involved with some.
Right, they
rum
send in a
smugglers.
destroyer to get these guys.
Oh, I guess it was a big deal because wasn't this when alcohol got banned in the US, like the 20s?
Oh yeah, no, this was during Prohibition.
Oh yeah,
that's why
Prohibition.
it's illegal for them.
Oh yeah. And you know how we were wondering last film if Rin Tin Tin actually got thrown at the horse or jumped? I'm starting to think he was thrown because they throw him right into the ocean in this.
Yeah, and then he's out there, and does he drown a man?
I thought he saved a guy in the ocean.
I couldn't make it out. I thought he drowned one of the villains.
I know he teabags one of them when he's wrestling with him.
Maybe we should have tried to find a better version of this, because we have no idea what actually happened out there in the water. It just looks like little people blobs and a Rin Tin Tin
if you're
blob
lucky, you can
and
make
waves.
out some pixels, but that's about it.
Yeah,
Like
so I'm not. So my kill count stays at 2, but it might actually be 3. But I feel like overall, with the tone of this movie, that the man was not killed by Rin Tin Tin.
Yeah, the only bad boy scene was when he was teabagging that guy. Other than that, he was really nice. I hope he gets vicious again.
Yeah,
though.
so
I don't want him to be vicious.
they get
but I
caught
also
on the
need
ship.
entertainment.
He needs to be vicious.
Yeah, otherwise, what's the point?
So yeah, when they're caught on the ship, Rin Tin Tin finally breaks through his net. He looks so sad, stuck in that netting.
Yeah, he just looks so like pissed off. Like, I could be doing my signature wall run. Why am I tied up in this net?
He does get to do it, but it's not very exciting by the time he does. The
Yeah,
action sucks.
It's pretty cool, but it's like half the size of the wall run he did last film. So it's not too impressive.
Right.
Like, we expect more from Rin Tin Tin. Last film was action-packed compared to this one.
Yeah. This was kind of
I think it's because
so
they probably
bland in comparison.
changed director. Like, I think the guy's only done like Laurel and Hardy comedies aside from this film, or some comedies like that.
Oh man.
So it kind of.
I want to see if he comes back, because I hope he doesn't come back.
I think he did like one other Rin Tin Tin film. I think he did anyway.
Let's see. Malcolm St. Clair.
Yeah, he's definitely done some.
His
Laurel and Hardy
Wikipedia
films.
picture is a goofy caricature of him instead of an actual picture.
Oh, his letterbox is the actual picture.
And no, he doesn't come back around for any of the ones we're going to see.
I hope we get the director
Yeah.
of the first film. He actually knew what he was doing. What's the next?
Well, this was a
film?
ho-hum episode because the movie sucked.
Yeah. What's the next Rin Tin Tin film anyway?
It is, well, okay, so it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
We're going to watch The Clash of the Wolves, but
That
also
sounds promising.
there are fragments from Below the Line that we can talk about as well.
Oh, okay, that sounds like it'll be good.
So I think there's like 15-minute fragment of Below the Line.
Well, what? And the rest
And
of the
then-
film's lost.
Right.
Okay. That seems like it'll
All
be a
right.
good time.
I hope so. But at least now I'm like prepared. Like where the North begins set such a strong precedent
Yeah.
that this is just the exact opposite of that. And I was just like, fuck.
Yeah, I hope this doesn't start a trend.
just
Like, none of the films are just
immediately-
able to live up to it.
I hope not. Because this immediately took the wind out of our Rin Tin Tin sails.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We don't even have half the energy as we did.
I know, right? We're going to
Alright, I can
switching
take a
over to
nap.
Strongheart. Like, fuck Rin Tin Tin.
Oh, no. No, I'll stick through them and through Junior. But that's all I got for. You got anything more?
Only thing I've got is that Rinty's friend Bob and Flora kiss on the ocean, then it abruptly ends. Like they're walking on the beach with the old man and Rin Tin Tin, and they just go in the ocean and kiss, and that's it.
So there's really no resolution other than the bad guys get caught.
Yeah, the old man's still alive now. Probably he just doesn't die.
He's still uploading crappy rips to archive.org.
Years of
saying, don't
staring
complain about them. This is an excellent condition. And also don't complain about the content. It's an excellent movie.
He just spent years staring into the lighthouse, and it's fried not only his eyes but his brain.
Defensive about it. Yeah.
Like, you don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. He thinks archive.org is YouTube.
Oh, here's another one. I just wanted to see if he says the same thing on everyone. So he has Bill Sprague collection, The Little Church Around the Corner, public domain. Oh, it's loud. I just wanted to see what it looked like. No, it's just some random film from 1923.
I kind of want to watch it. The title's interesting. Bill's Frog Collection.
But here we go. This is a long one, and then I'm done. There are no complaints tolerated by the Bill Sprague collection for anything that they post. Complainers are whisked off to their nearest urgent care center where they are directed to take a strong dose of antipsychotics as well as sedatives and laxatives. It's a whole paragraph. Are you ready for this? Yeah. They will be directed to take the laxatives and the sedatives in the evening before bedtime. They will inevitably end up pooping the bed and attracting all kinds of insects and vermin. So, like, this is... I guess we're lucky that this movie wasn't part of the Bill Sprague collection, because we would be subject to all of this.
Is he just threatening the people that want to watch it?
That's threatening anyone who says anything bad about the rip or the quality of the actual content.
What kind of a threat is that?
A skunk will stop by to spray you with his scent. I'm not even half done with what's on there.
My God.
Let me just skip to... you will be responsible for changing your filthy pajamas, and your apartment will end up condemned. You will be sued for an untold amount of dollars, and you will end up living in the poorhouse. They may not even tolerate stinky trolls at the poorhouse, so you may well end up homeless. Complainers are worthless trolls that live under the bridge, and you certainly do not want to be characterized as a troll.
Is that it?
Okay.
What the fuck? Is this like the guy's fetish? Like he gets off on uploading shitty films to archive.org and then just bad-mouthing people?
And yeah, and like saying like just freaking out on someone for saying like, no, this kind of looks like shit, and the movie wasn't very good.
Don't you dare talk bad about Rin Tin Tin, or you'll be taking laxatives and going to the poorhouse. Sounds like it's written by a child.
Right?
That's so bizarre.
I asked. Oh, one of them. He's polite. I asked that there are no negative reviews due to the content or condition of the film.
Maybe Archive gave him a warning, so he has to be polite now.
He's just chill out.
Yeah, they slapped him on the wrist.
Alright, I've had enough of this. See ya.
See ya.